Like, how much do you hear African dialect in the patois?
I would say on the tonation and the accent and style, it's 100%. Yo, I'm gonna wonder that there, you know. Yes, I didn't know I'm poe, Brian, I lie, man.
And just
That's street.
within our promotion of doing this album, and even Shatta Wale just released a new album. Stonebwoy's album just dropped. So it's a thing for me to hear Stonebwoy speak on an interview and tell them how much Ghana and Jamaica have in common, because a lot of people don't know. So I'm just really proud of him to be telling that story.
The very first I think you got something with Shatta Wale.
Yeah, Shatta Wale is on the album. It's an album with 21 songs on it. It was released on April 21st. We came here to do the album launch. We're doing several album launches. Well, actually, it was two. One in Uganda and one in Ghana. Because I said, we have to do one in Ghana.
Yeah. This is home, man. This is home.
Funny enough is that 3 Ghanaian artists are on the album.
Okay.
Which is Rocky Doweni, our big brother, Shatta Wale, who we have never worked with before.
True.
And Stonebwoy, this is like maybe the 4th time we have Stonebwoy on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that relationship started after that performance that night.
That's correct. So,
because I remember when we were sort of just done and you were cooling off and we're just vibing about, the whole experience.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think it was Reggie who asked you, who stood out for you that night.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, that youth Stonebwoy. And then you mentioned another one, Episode.
Yes.
For quite recently, and a Stonebwoy, a call interview be USA HSA or the relationship between Ghana and Jamaica, as well as Africa and Jamaica. A man illustration and now to a lot of people, a brilliant submission. Now I know and a Gramps Morgan or a member of Grammy winning group, Morgan Heritage, a prison is listening to that submission of his, idea man who say yes, he's so much proud of Stonebwoy. Now he praises on him. Emma neto ne bonso ekasa edefa Shatta Wale any why he came to Ghana. Muminko team Morgan Heritage ni ekai mu say Vimbasu before adwenche efa comment section no emai edasipi.
Got a few, I think you got something with Shatta Wale.
Yeah, Shatta Wale is on the album. It's an album with 21 songs on it. It was released on April 21st. We came here to do the album launch. We're doing several album launches. Well, actually, it was 2. One in Uganda and one in Ghana. Because I said, we have to do one in Ghana.
Yeah. This is home, man. This is home.
Funny enough is that 3 Ghanaian artists are on the album.
Okay.
Which is Rocky Doweni, our big brother, Shatta Wale, who we have never worked with before.
True.
And Stonebwoy, this is like maybe the 4th time we have Stonebwoy on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that relationship started after that performance that night.
That's correct. So,
because I remember when we were sort of just done and you were cooling off and we're just vibing about, the whole experience.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think it was Reggie who asked you, who stood out for you that night.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, that youth Stonebwoy. And then you mentioned another one, Episode.
Yes.
Any moves to do something with Episode someday?
He's doing well, man. He kicked off and doing well. My boy Cash from Broadway Entertainment always keep me, what's next? Cash will call me and be like, Gramps, I'm telling you, this boy here. So from that time, it's always been an energy where I'm always tapped into who's coming next. And there's one that I have my eyes on. It's Jeffrey King.
Okay.
Which, look out for him, because we're looking to do some things with him, because he has the talent. But now we're at a stage at our career where we want to nurture young talent.
Yeah.
Even talent that has already been established, but we want to lend our hand to see if we can polish it up, and hence the relationship with Shatta Wale, because it's been many years that I've wanted to work with. He was supposed to be there on that night, but I think he
couldn't make it.
He couldn't make it. So for many years, people, despite everything that has happened with Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy, my desire has always been there to work with him and speak with him. And it finally happened on this new Morgan Heritage album, The Homeland.
It's only in Jazz's own time. Things become beautiful.
Yeah, man.
The other thing that I've just really wanted to, have this quick chat with you about is your longing to come back. Yes, for me, that conversation started in 2000. I think it was the night Frank Seldon fought Mike Tyson. And you and the family were getting ready to play at the Essential Music Festival. Wow. Copton Hotel. I met you, Daddy Morgan, and I think Peter. The rest of the guys were
That was in the UK, huh?
It was in England, yes.
Wow.
And we started talking about you wanting to come home because
man.
Michael had been talking to you about me and his time here.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've come full circle. 22 years on, you've made a number of visits here.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised you're probably going to be getting a Ghanaian citizenship soon.
Well, that is a dream, you know. The dream of the Rastaman has always been to come home to reconnect with Africa. The same way people of Jewish descent that, you know, you may be born in New York City, but the Jewish community says you need to make a homage home, whether you're going to live there, whether you're going to just visit or invest, but make the homage. So our mission throughout me growing up as a child is going to Africa. And for many years, I remember in, I think it was 1998, President Rawlings came to Jamaica, and this man was presented in front of a stadium. And people were like, yes, you know, a president from Africa has reached Jamaica. And his message to Jamaicans was, you know, come home because Ghana is the gateway to Africa. And that was 20 odd years ago.
That's right.
So when I came by myself after touring in Europe and made the connection with Reggie Rockstone and Nina Atala, and it was like home, you know. And then from there, that was the first night I met my brethren, Cash, and he's always been there with me. He's like, if you see Gramps, you see Cash. And when
That's right.
you're never gonna see Gramps Morgan in Ghana without Cash.
No cash.
Yeah. Or my brother Salam. It's just, you know.
Yeah.
So we're doing great things, you know, with Afro-Arab projects and, you know, Broadway entertainment, you know, that I'm doing as Gramps Morgan.
That's right.
And telling my brother Peter to come in and, you know, it's time that we come and not ask what Africa can do for you, but what you can do for Africa.
That's true.
And music is our thing. So when I see a Sassy radio and I see a radio station like this, I'm like, yes, we're headed in the right direction.
Oh, yeah.
Because progress is a must. And I'm just excited about the future, but it won't be long till Gramps Morgan is living in Africa.
Well, I'm hoping that will happen pretty soon.
man.
But, you know, the other thing that you just talked about, talking to, you know, Peter to come. Peter's the only one who hasn't made the trip yet, right?
No, Peter was here.
Oh, yeah, when you filmed
Yes,
the
video
the
Africa Jamaica
Africa,
with
Jamaica,
Stonebwoy
that's right,
and
that's right.
Diamond Platinums,
Yeah.
and then he was just here. We all were here.
You were all here, that's
Yeah,
true.
but-
I missed out on the listening party because there was another engagement that, you know, got in the way.
Yeah,
But
it's all
I
good,
owe you
man.
one.
Yes,
I owe you
man.
one. Before, I know you've got to be running quickly, but before you go, you know, so it's, for me, I'm looking at the story of the Israelites, the Jews, went out into slavery and they went back home and built
That's correct.
a nation.
That's correct.
Whether we like it or not, however painful it is and you know, dark as it is, we cannot erase that about our history. In the album More Teachings, I remember that title track that, you know, if we forget where we're from, we wouldn't know where we're going.
That's correct.
And so is this a fulfillment of or a repetition of the biblical sojourn and the exodus back home to build a stronger nation?
It truly is. And the new Morgan Heritage album, The Homeland, it institutes that and regenerates, revives that to remind us. Because like I said, in Jamaica, the whole Rastafari movement is to come home and build Africa. Hospitals, schools, infrastructure, technology, and now we're at a point where the technology has gone so far. I look at a studio like this and realize there's radio stations in America that don't look like this. So I have hope and I am inspired. So we don't want to be those that talk about Africa and coming back home and it don't happen.
Yeah.
And I don't want to return to Africa on a cane. And then at that time I'm too weak. I want to come know when I'm strong. When I can lend to the ghetto youth, them big up me youth, them in a Ashai, man. Big up me youth, them in a Nima. When I can help to guide them and make them understand that dreaming is possible, that things are possible other than being just a football player or a singer. These are the things and the message that I want to bring within the music. So that's why the Homeland album is so important. I want to big up Boomplay and everyone that in Ghana that's been, you know, Rudy, that's been instrumental and this whole rave team in institutionalizing this album because it took a long time, almost 4 years.
Wow.
since the time of when we did Africa, Jamaica
That's
with
right.
Diamond Platinums. And brother, here we are. It debuted at #1. This is the first world music album Morgan Heritage has ever done. And it debuted at #1.
So it must go, man.
Yeah, so we're proud of that. And 11 countries out of Africa being represented on this album. So it's very special. And
is
we are
indeed.
proud to know that 3 of them are from Ghana.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you've got Rocky Dawuni,
Yes.
Shatta Wale, and Stonebwoy on that album.
Yes.
Listen, it's out there. It's on the streaming platforms. Take a moment, and stream them and listen to it. And let's push this agenda,
Yeah,
because
man.
this is where it all started.
Yes.
This is the cradle of
yes.
humanity.
It's serious, man. And I'm excited about it because no matter what, even if when I go to the airport now or I go to the airport tomorrow and I leave and what I say, the fact is that this album, The Homeland, is going to remind me every time I hear it on the radio or every time I see it on social media to say, remember you said you was going home, Gramps.
That's right.
Remember what you said, bro. Yeah, Charlie, come here, we got to
Come, yes,
make me
that's
they go
it.
home. So I'm just excited, man, and
Yeah.
just within our promotion of doing this album, and even Shatta Wale just released a new album. Stonebwoy's album just dropped. So it's a thing for me to hear Stonebwoy speak on an interview and tell them how much Ghana and Jamaica have in common, because a lot of people don't know. So I'm just really proud of him
very
to be
first-
telling that story.
You know, the very first things Buju said to me when he came in '99 was, we were walking down this, we just went around the neighborhood, and Buju's like, that woman there looks like my aunt. This area, man, this is like
Yeah,
home.
it's true. You see, in Ghana, you see, it's like I went and met with the Mpese royal family and was able to meet the king. Big up to the Mpese family.
That's right.
And I walked into this room, me and Cash are sitting there, and I'm looking there, and I'm like, all of these men look like my uncles here or my brothers or somebody in Jamaica. So it's really a joy, and I'm happy I went and even did a DNA test.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So tell me, what did you find?
52% Ghanaian.
Yeah,
And the rest-
man.
Yeah, and the rest is Nigerian and a little mix of some of the local places.
Well, we'll take 52 anyway. 52 wins an election.
Yeah. So it's a joy, man. When I see that, for me, it's really something special to understand and really get a chance to reconnect and get the data, the facts. I won't say we come from Africa. Where's the data? Let's do the test.
That's right.
It's like, a mother have a child and the father don't know if the child is his. Get a DNA test. So I have done a DNA test and I am a son of the soil. So
Well, we love to hear that.
Yeah,
love to
man.
hear that. Well, you were welcome before you did the DNA, so
Yes.
it's just confirmation of the kindred spirit that we
Yes,
felt
man.
all of that time. So when are we see Morgan Heritage performing?
we're
in
working on it.
Accra?
Like I said, man, somebody on Twitter hit us up and was like, when are you going to do a show in Morgan Heritage? And for many times in Africa, we've always had the issue with the technology of putting on a solid stage, a proper sound system, proper lights. Because when we perform at festivals like the Essential Festival and, all these big festivals around the world, and now I see, Chance the Rapper brought a festival here, and then you had the Global Citizen.
That's right.
That's how we want to see a Morgan Heritage show in Ghana. So I pray that Assassin Radio and the whole team and the government of Ghana will help us put on a solid reggae music show and inspire the youths them to do positivity. So stay tuned. It is a dream of ours. And if we're going to do a Morgan Heritage concert live with the full band, it has to be done first class.
Absolutely. It's the only way we know Morgan Heritage. For more than 25 years, you guys have been churning some great music. And we're grateful for your time. I know you've got to run,
Yes, sir.
but this is home. The next time you come, we're going to sit down real proper
Yes,
and have a
man.
lot of conversations.
Thank you for making the
but
time, man.
Final question. You've taken lots of memories with you each time you come here.
Yeah.
This time around, having performed at Salah Fest,
Yes.
what's the one memory that you're taking with you this time?
Me and Shatta Wale backstage, jumping up on the stage and watching Mojo being in Nima for the second time on stage, watching Cash running up and down and knowing that I went past through the Afro-Arab office and share the vibe with the people, because that's important to us, to be among the people and to be amongst people that are trying to make something of themselves. This is where God, the Spirit of God, dwelleth amongst the poor and the needy. This is in the Bible. So it is important for us to make sure we go to people that are looking for opportunity and make them know that it is possible. So Nima, very special to our heart. Big up all the time. Big up the mayor Nima. Cash, my brother.
Fantastic stuff. Gramps Morgan, thank you so much
Positive.
For coming through.
Yeah, man.
Grateful. Always happy to catch up with you.
And I want to tell them, make sure them follow Morgan Heritage on all social media platforms at Morgan Heritage. Just follow the blue check. Make sure y'all follow us, and we always respond to our fans.
That I know for a fact. And for me, one thing I would like to leave with our audience is actually from your first solo album, Dream Away. That's a track from Dream Away.
That's the second solo album.
That's right, the second solo album.
Yeah.
And I remember that line that, remember to just keep dreaming and go after your dreams. It was always a passion for the Morgan family to make that homage.
Yes.
And now you've made it a reality.
Yes, very soon.
Well, to the memory of Ras Denroy Morgan, we bless him.
May he live forever.
Rastafari.
Live and reign.
Vimbaz TV.